All right, everyone, Darla here, and I'm excited to be doing this training with you today. So I am going to slow down and connect because I know I can get excited and let my Italian happy, wild, and crazy self get all fast. And I want to be able to connect with you guys so you can really learn from this training. So in sales and in network marketing or direct sales or any kind of sales, anything you're doing dealing with customers, you're going to have objections that you need to overcome. And this is one of the parts of each person's trade that they're in. They have to learn their trade so they can learn how to give the client what they want. And I want to tell you that most people that make an excuse or their reason is not really their reason. And it takes somebody that can overcome that to be able to give them the information that they need to get the results that they want. Because when somebody says that no, they're not interested, or no, not right now, or the timing is not right, or something like that, it's a perception in their mind that is creating that answer. And so it takes the other person to be able to have the ability to overcome it, to be able to connect with them in a way that you can get in their shoes and help them have the information that they really need, because most of the time it's just a perception that they have. It's not the facts that they have that are giving them the answer. Like, for example, when you send somebody a video and say, hey, watch this, it's really cool, you'll love it, and the person doesn't watch it. Well, had you have said, hey, watch this 30-second video, you'll love it, the person will watch it because that's 30 seconds. Where because you didn't say it was 30 seconds, their perception was this is probably an hour long or 30 minutes long and I don't have time right now. But if I would have known it was 30 seconds, I would have taken 30 seconds to watch it. And that happens often. People will send something and say, hey, when you get time, watch this. And they don't watch it, they don't watch it, they don't watch it. And then finally you end up saying, dude, it's 30 seconds, just watch it. Well, why didn't you tell me that? I would have watched it, right? It's the same thing. And so what I did is I made a post on Facebook, and I made it in several groups, and I said, what objections do you want me to help you overcome? And I'll go through them. So I've gone through and I've made a list over here. So I'm going to be reading off to the side. And in all cases, what you have to understand is it's their perception. This is their opinion. It's their life. It's their time. And timing is everything. So a lot of times it's just not the right time, but no doesn't mean no. It means no, not right now at this very minute. For example, when you call someone on the phone and you say, hey, I want to talk to you about this thing that I'm doing, whatever you're doing, okay? I want to talk to you about this. You know what? Not right now. I'll call you back later. Bye. And then you think they're avoiding you. Well, what you didn't say is, hey, is right now a good time? Because they were walking into the grocery store and they had one kid on their hip and they answered from their Bluetooth or something like that. You have to learn how to ask questions to be able to get the clarity with your answers. And you got to learn how to ask questions to really understand what their opinion is, so you're not using your perceptive opinion. That makes sense, okay? So I'm going to go through this little list that I've created over here from a bunch of the different replies. And thank you, everybody, for your replies. I'm excited to go through these with you. So being I am in a couple different network marketing companies, I've got a little different responses, okay? But my most company that I'm in is Send Out Cards. So that's the company that I do the most because it's the most powerful in my life. And Send Out Cards plays a role in every one of my businesses. So I have a lot of people that have things that they've posted from Send Out Cards. But you can take this and put it in the same industry as health and wellness or beauty or insurance or anything. They're all the same. All the excuses are the same. So I don't collect addresses, only emails. When somebody gives me an objective, I like to agree with them because they are right. Even though they may be wrong to you, they're right to them. So you have to respect that. And when you can respect somebody and meet them where they're at and say something like, I know exactly what you mean. I didn't have one address. The only address I knew when I started was my own. You know, make a little joke about it and say, but trust me, it's easy to gather the addresses and I'll teach you that. Okay, so that's the way I go with that one. So when I don't collect addresses, say, I didn't either. Most people don't. And so what you're doing is you're meeting them where they're at. You're validating that they're right. So you're not using the word no. Okay, so don't use the word no, or you're wrong, or you don't, or things like that, because when you do that, you're shutting the person down, is pushing them away. Okay, so I say, yeah, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way too. I use that line a lot. Or you're right, I didn't have any either. It's crazy. I didn't have a Rolodex or an address for 10 years. Now I'm full of addresses. Don't worry, I'll teach you how to get them. It's super easy. So that's the posture that you're carrying as you're moving them through the process of their questions. Okay, what you're doing is you're moving them through the process of their questions by answering them, by helping them have the solution to take them on to the next question, because that's really what it is, a series of questions. Okay, so thank you, Deborah Housley, for that one. Joe up top, Jones Jr. You don't look like you're a person who has a greeting card business. Okay, so in this case, someone has a false perception. When somebody says you don't look like you have a greeting card business, they've been given a perception that you have a greeting card business. So maybe I would go back and revisit how you're presenting. Somehow you're presenting it in a way that you have a greeting card business, because we really don't have a greeting card business. I don't have a greeting card business. And so when someone's giving you that answer a lot, it's in the approach. So let's revisit the approach, okay? So we can learn the approach. And that's how you'll learn how to overcome that one. And I've gotten that since I started. Okay, perfect. So Joe, let's work on that one. Gary Warren, I need to think about it. That's a common one, okay? A lot of people say, I need to think about it. And again, back it up and let's talk about what it is that you need to think about. And there's a rule that I teach about book a meeting from a meeting. Okay, so when someone says, I need to think about it, say, okay, how long do you need to think about it? Ask them, how long do you need to think about it so I know when to reset another follow-up appointment with you? Or what is it that you need to think about so I can get you the information to help you come to that conclusion? And see how I'm posturing myself? Some people would go, well, think about it. Think about what? And make the person feel like really weird. I'll be like, think about it. I get that. And you guys, I take it back to my network marketing days. When I got started, I didn't sign up on the first day that I got started in network marketing because I was $20,000 overdrawn on my payroll account. And my husband told me, don't you dare come back here and ask me for any money. And so I'm not going to tell my person that. I'm going to say, I need to think about it. Get it? It's the excuse, not the reason. So the quicker you can understand that it's the excuse and not the reason, the easier it is for you to accept it and be able to move around it, over it, under it, and through it, okay? So great. What is it? What part of it is it that you want to think about? Is it the part about doing the business, or is it the part about sending cards? Or is it about the part of, whatever it is that you do? Is it a part about doing the weight loss program or using the service, the product, whatever it is that you're doing? And ask for clarity. And I am big on asking questions. I love asking questions. Can you tell me what you mean by that so that I can understand? Okay? Can you tell me what you mean by that so that I can understand? I'm big on that. Okay. Thank you, Gary, for that. Barb Corsa. Nobody does that anymore. That was what I said. I said that. Nobody does that anymore. And so with me, what got me over nobody does that anymore is someone had me send a card. So in that case, I would say to the person, I know nobody does it anymore. That's the issue, is that everybody's gone to digital and the new world generation doesn't do cards anymore. However, you won't believe the power of what a card does today now that nobody does it. Let's put it to the test. And then here's where you got to get good at recommending the person that they're going to send it to. So if you know that they're happily married, say, let's send your husband a cute little card and tell him why you love him. Do you have a cute picture in your phone of a picture that he likes of you or that he would like to have on print of you? Let's put this in a card and let's tell him a couple reasons why he loves you. Trust me, this card is going to do you magical, and I'll be something like that. And I'll literally go through the process of having them send a card to their husband, and I'll suggest the words to put inside so that it can be correct, right? That's what you want to do, is lead people through the process. Okay, Eva Smith. I don't even know people to send cards to make it worthwhile. All right, that was one of my things too, because I had quit sending cards years ago and I didn't send cards anymore. And let's face it, we all start out not knowing who to send cards to unless we already have customers. So when I got started, I didn't have customers. So I didn't have anybody to send cards to because my perceptive mind was sending cards to customers back in my salon day. And so here's what I do. I say, well, let me show you a couple examples. Are you on Facebook? Yes, I am. And I just did this earlier. I had a client on Zoom and I said, let me go to Facebook and I'm going to show you a couple examples of how you could send cards. And the first Facebook thing that I came to was this adorable picture of this friend, and she was riding a scooter, and it was the cutest picture, and she wrote this awesome quote about how free she feels. And I said, look at this card, look at this post. Let me show you something. And I grabbed that picture real quick. I put it on a card. I put her quote on the back, and I sent it to her. I said, how do you think she's going to feel when she gets that? And she's like, oh my gosh, she's going to love that. And that's, I do it by showing an example. And I'll go through Facebook and I'll say, look at this person. They just lost their brother to suicide. Do you know this person? Oh my gosh, yes. Wouldn't you love to send this person a card? Yes, I get it, I get it, I get it. And that's what they say. And I go through and I give a couple examples of that. But as people are telling me their excuse, which is their reason, because they don't know otherwise, till it becomes an excuse, I validate it. I say, yeah, I know. I know exactly how you feel. I did too. I know, I said the same thing, you know, and I go through that with them because it's true, I did. All right, Pam Dammerman, because of confidentiality, our corporate office will not allow us to use outside sources. I love this one. Okay, so here's the talk that I have with people that tell me that. I say, your company sends cards to those customers to retain them for your company. Let me show you ways that you can use it so you can build loyalty to yourself as a nice person and a friend with people so that they want to do business with you. Then let the company retain and maintain them. Even though that's not what the big picture is, and we know that they'll get that that's not what they want down the road, I'm validating it now because I want the first step for them to be able to see it. I don't need to go into the advanced stuff and the advanced training on why they need to brand themselves and why they need to make people loyal to them instead of to their company. That's all later. Right now, this is about, let me show you ways to be able to get people to want to do business with you. And I talk about how it was nice to have lunch with you and talking about celebrating friends and talking about the how to win friends and influence people. And I ask people, when I'm talking with people and I'm talking with them about send out cards, I say to them, have you by any chance ever read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People? And some say yes, some say no. And the ones that say no, I say, have you ever heard of it? Some say yes, some say no. I say, by the title, do you kind of get what the book is about? And they say, yeah. And I say, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a book that teaches you how to make an emotional connection with other people. And the one that can make the emotional connection the fastest that taps into the riches of relationships the fastest. And that's what this does, because an email, a text, a Facebook post doesn't get printed and hung up and framed. It just is gone in the social media world, where a card that comes in the mail gets opened, appreciated, framed, kept forever. And therefore it's different. It's more powerful. It's not going to end up in the trash, which in sales, we all know you need to get from the back, from, oh yeah, I know who they are, to the front, to, oh, I know exactly who to tell you who to go to here, to, oh, no, I have the perfect person for you. You have to use this person, okay? That's what a card does. An email and a text and a Facebook and a social media post is gone in an instant. So here's a line that I use. I'm all, for your birthday, last birthday, how many birthday cards did you get in the mail? And they'll say one or two. I'll say, who were they from? And they'll tell me who they were from. And I'll say, how many Facebook posts did you get for your birthday? And they may say 100, a couple hundred. I says, can you tell me who they were? And they say no. And I say, that's my point, is that a card will help you be remembered. It helps you to stand out. It hits somebody in the heart. I'll ask them, how did that card make you feel? And so I have that conversation. After I've said, yes, I know how you feel. Yes, I understand. I felt the same way too. I get it. Can I give you a little bit, and I ask for permission. Can I give you a little bit of vision on some clarity of things to help you understand what the difference is here though? And I ask for permission. And people say, sure, yeah. because when you ask them for permission, then they have to listen. Okay. Now, if they say, no, the timing's not right now, blah, 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 it's okay, you guys. Sometimes there's a personal, it's personal. People, you're not attractive to them. You're not someone they want to do business with. I'm sorry. It's just that way for some people. They don't like you. They personally don't like you. Maybe you're annoying. Maybe they don't like the type of person you are, whatever. Okay. And that's okay. That's going to happen too. Believe it or not, not everybody likes me either. Can you believe that? And that's okay. Learn to read energy and know when people are pushing away from you, and be patient with people. Let people take their time. The person that I just signed up right now on Zoom, apparently I showed them 3.5 years ago and I don't remember. They said, yeah, when you showed us this 3.5 years ago and we sent a couple cards, I was like, oh, really? We did? I completely forgot. I don't know why we didn't get it like we do now. And I said to them, it was timing. The timing in your life was not right. The timing in your life is right now. Okay. So now they loved it and they got it. But I didn't judge them. I still sent them cards. I still appreciated them. Matter of fact, I didn't even remember I did a demo and that they didn't sign up, because I don't hold energy to that, because I understand timing. And that's in any sales and any business. But thankfully, because in send out cards, we have this automated system that can continue to love and follow up on people. It's your follow-up tool. Because they got a birthday card from me yesterday and called me, and that's how this all happened, because they got their birthday card this year when the time was right. Okay, because of confidentiality in our corporate office will not allow us to send out cards. I get that. So I'm going to repeat and elaborate a little bit more on that one, because this topic I do get a lot. I say, yep, I understand 100%. And let me show you the workaround, and let me show you why you would want to use this before your company starts sending cards. It will help you to be able to close people and build relationships and make bonds before they are your customer. See, your company doesn't prevent you from having friends and you being able to do what you need to do with your network of people to win friends and influence people with them. Okay? And with all of these situations, you guys, you should be demoing a card, having them send a card to a loved one. And let me tell you why you have them send a card to a loved one instead of themselves. If they say, yeah, I want to send myself a card, I say, oh, no. I'm sending you a card. So you'll get a card in the mail from me. What I want you to do is experience what it's like when somebody you care about receives a card. So let's send a card to the husband, the wife, the grandparents, the kids, something like that, aunt, uncle, mother, father. That's where you're going to get the biggest emotional response from, okay? All right, Deborah Housley, don't have time around my full-time job. I get that. So here's something that I do say to help test if that's the excuse or the reason. First, I say, I understand you're super busy. Let me just ask you this question. If you did have some extra time on your hands, though, would this seem like something that you would want to do? If you did have extra time on your hands, would this seem like something that you would want to do? And if they say, no, not really, then that was the excuse, not the reason. If they say, yeah, I would, this seems like fun. And I'm like, okay, then can you carve 5 minutes? Do you think you could carve 5 minutes out of your life? Again, this goes back to the 30-second video, right? Because in their mind, they think this takes a lot of time. And then I go into, let me show you how in 5 minutes you can make somebody feel loved, valued, appreciated, and special. And use those words when you're talking to people, because those are the words those are the things that they're doing for other people. And so when you're using those words, psychology is, yeah, I need to make people feel loved, special, validated, and appreciated in life, because I need to do that more. I don't do that. You know, it'll help them to understand that. Okay. And also around my full-time job, sometimes I ask people, is your job just a job, or is it the career and the thing you wanted to do and be when you were a little kid, when you grew up? Is it just a job, or is it the career and the thing you wanted to do and be when you grew up? And if they say it's just a job for a paycheck, I'll say, well, let me paint you a little vision here. This is something that can build another stream of income on the side of what you're doing with a few minutes a day. It'll be slowly at first, but it'll pick up over time. And one day it'll be making enough money where it'll give you an option to be able to transition if you want to get into something different. It'll open doors of opportunity. It's a great blueprint for an escape plan if you want to do that. And if not, it's another stream of income to give you a couple extra bucks, or a couple extra $100, or a couple extra $1,000 a month. Could you use that? And so doing that, where most people would say, okay, and push away and be done because they don't know how to continue the conversation. Continue the conversation with questions and lead with agreeance and painting pictures and posture of understanding, having a casual conversation with someone. Okay, Deborah Housley on number 2. I'm on a computer all day and don't want to be on one after work. I can appreciate that. I understand that. It sounds to me like maybe you don't want to be on a computer anymore. Do you like being on a computer? You know, I would ask that question. Do you like being on a computer, or would it be great if you could eventually get off that computer? Ask a question. If you could get off that computer, let me show you how that could happen. And then start painting the picture of how to make the backup plan. I only have a handful of friends. I get that. A lot of people in today's world, so this is what I say, I get that. A lot of people in today's world only have a handful of friends because they've stopped making human connections. And it's not like it was when we were growing up and had time for relationships. And that's where this can come in. And it's okay if you only have a handful of friends. Do you want to make sure that handful of friends knows how much you value and appreciate them and keep them in your life? As a matter of fact, let's send a couple of those friends a card just so you can experience and understand. And then let me give you a little vision and a picture. How many friends do you have on Facebook, and how many friends do you have in your phone? Would you like to have better relationships with those people? I have that conversation with people. Start small and just love on your little circle that you have. And once a week, celebrate someone you haven't talked to in a while and tell them you miss them. And I use these key words. Tell them you miss them. Tell someone that you appreciate them. Tell someone you're sorry. Tell someone congratulations for their success. Tell someone that you miss them. Tell someone that you heard that they lost their mother and that you're really sorry and she was a really great person. You know, use those words and the power of suggestions to things that prompt the emotion inside of people that they would want to be a part and they would want to do that. All right, third one for Deborah is I only have a handful of friends. Okay, so thank you, Deborah. Amy Brown, I don't send enough cards to make it worth the money. Okay, so this can be a couple different things. Number one, she was presented with only one plan, which was the large plan, and she didn't see that there's small plans that are free that for people that only send 1 or 2 cards. So make sure that people understand the plans so that they can start where it's valued for them. And then talk to people about the power of what a card can do. And here's something else I do with this. I say, would you be willing to do a little test so that you can see the responses? Then you know if it works for you or not. So when someone's saying no or pushing away, I'll say, would you like to do a little test so you can make sure that it's not for you, or so you can see and experience what the results would be? Do a 30-day challenge. Could you send 1 card a day? Could you take 5 minutes a day to tell one person a day how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, how much you miss them, happy birthday, happy anniversary? Could you do that to 1 person a day and watch what this does? Or I say to them, would you be open to watching a couple videos of what it looks like to send these cards and what type of cards they are and what type of reactions people get? I will leave people with that. Instead of leaving with nothing, I leave with a final question of, would you be open to watching? Would you be open to watching a little something to show you what that actually looks like? Would you be open for that? Or how about this? If I sent you something to watch so that you know what you're saying no to, would you at least watch it? I do those things a lot too. And I'm okay with a no. I tell people all the time, I'm okay with a no. You can tell me no on this. I just want to make sure you understand you know what you're saying no to, so you're not missing something really great. All right, Tracy Bell. That's for old people. Actually, it is for old people and millennials and everybody else. And so when I come across somebody that says it's for old people, I say, I know, I get it. Old people are the ones that sent cards. I said, you wouldn't believe what it would do for you if you sent a card to an old person. And I'll say to them, is your grandma or grandpa or your aunt or uncle or your mother or father still alive? And they say, yeah. I say, let me show you something that is so powerful that you're going to realize that is missing in today's high-tech, low-touch world. I say, let's send 2 cards. I want you to send a card to an old person, and I want you to send a card to a young person. And I'll say, do you have a niece or a nephew? I go for a kid, a niece, a nephew, a little brother, a little sister, somebody like that. Let's send 2 cards and just watch. Let's do a test. And then I leave it at that. I leave it at that. I don't try and close them because the cards will close them. And then I make sure I have a follow-up on my calendar to follow up with them. And then when we leave and we're done, I say, if I sent you a couple things to watch, would you at least watch it so you can learn a little bit more about this and see the power of what it could do? And get the yes or no. Okay, Judy. Vin Luan. I don't send cards. Costco is cheaper and I don't want to pay for a subscription. Yep, I get that one. We get it all the time. And I say, well, let's talk about what types of cards that you would send. If you're sending bulk cards that you would send, do you want your cards to be kept and treasured and put in frames? Do you want your cards to be something that you're handwriting? Are your cards just a memory? How many cards are you sending? I'll ask them a few questions like that. And I'll say, in your business, if they have a business, in your business, do you see the value of continuing to send cards to say happy birthday and happy anniversary and thank you for your business? Do you see the use for that, or do you see how powerful that could be in your future? And they'll say, yeah, I see that that could be valuable. I'll say this is what Costco can't do. Once you put your contacts in send out cards, now you can do everything automated. If you go to Costco, now you have to redo it every single time. And think about birthday cards. Costco's not going to send your birthday cards. Over here, they're going to be able to send cards off automatically. And the more cards you send, the less you spend when it comes to send out cards. So at Costco, you may spend $97 to get 300 cards. And over here in send out cards, it may cost you $97 a month, but you can send hundreds of cards and it includes postage. Where over here at Costco, you still have to add the postage and you have to do each one individually, one after the other after the other. You have to stuff the envelope. You have to address the envelopes. Over here, you don't have to do any of that. So time is money. So your time is where you're saving over here as well. Then the ability to have a system that does it for you in the future to be able to maintain those relationships. So when somebody says that, they don't see the big picture and the value. So first, ask some questions to find out what types of cards they're sending, who they're sending them to, and would they like to maintain those relationships throughout the year. Okay, Michael Vogel, we use an email campaign for our clients, okay? And I say, I understand that. I did the same thing too. I stopped sending cards and I went to email campaigns, and it really affected my business in a negative way because it took away the personal touch. People don't check their emails like they used to anymore, and they go to spam a lot. How many emails do you check? It's not personal. It's, do you want your clients to hang up their cards? They can't print their emails. They're gone. They're forgotten about the next day. If you could send them something that ends up on their refrigerator or ends up on a frame, now you're remembered all the time. An email goes to here at best. A heart goes to here. An email slips back to here. A heart goes back and forth to here. Or I mean a card. Okay, Miriam, and also back when email campaigns for our clients, I have that same talk about, and this is a really good one. Okay, listen to this one. Do you plan on, when you die, working for the company that you work for now? And they go, oh no. I say, okay, so if you're going to move on to a new company or maybe open your own business one day, don't you need a following of people that know you, love you, like you, and trust you? And they're like, yeah. And well, that's why you want to build yourself as your brand, not your company. Start building relationships where people appreciate you. So like, for example, in the hair salon world, if I'm sending cards to my clients, they appreciate me. If I quit working for that salon one day and go start working at another salon, all I got to do is tell them where they're coming for their next appointment. Get it? Where if my salon is sending cards, business owners, you should listen to this too, okay? Because it goes both ways. If your salon is sending cards to the customers to appreciate them, then when the stylist leaves, the client's going to stay with the salon. Okay, I knew that very young, so I started doing that, and I sent cards from me to all the clients of the salon. Okay, Miriam Schneider, but I like browsing through the greeting cards at the store. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love this. Imagine being able to sit on the couch at home at night, scrolling through tons and tons of cards and not having to go to the store and park and find parking and touch all the cards where all the germs are. Doesn't that sound like it would be much funner? You know, you can do stuff like that. And if somebody says, no, I actually like to go to the store, then that's a personal thing. It really is. It's a personal thing to you. Or they could be like my mom, you guys. My mom doesn't have a computer. She goes to the 99-cent store to get her cards. She doesn't have a phone, a cell phone, so she couldn't do this if she wanted to. But listen to this. My mom is my best referral partner. She's my best referral partner because I send her cards and she shows them to everybody. Everybody. Okay. Flood. I just send text or a Facebook. Okay, we covered that one already. Mark Herdering, this is more on the business side. This training isn't about one of those things, is it? You know, where you have to talk to people and do something. When somebody says that to me, I say, well, how about this? Why don't you come and then you tell me what it is? You tell me what it is, and I'll make you a deal. I don't want you to sign up for anything or buy anything. I just want you to come and hear the information so you can make your own decision with the facts. That's how I get people to come to meetings. And I tell them, and I'll never bother you again, I promise. But if you don't come, I'm going to drive you crazy. That's what I tell people. Okay, Mike Graham. Oh no, I need to talk with people. That's a deal breaker. Say, well, not here. So this is obviously from another network marketing company, because in most other network marketing companies, you do have to talk to people. You have to talk to them about your product and your service and all that kind of stuff. Well, here you don't. You send a card. When you send a card like this to somebody, or they get a card like this in the mail, they're going to pick up the phone and call you. The card just did the talking for you. The card did the home event. The card did the presentation. The card does the closing. Okay? If you don't want to talk to someone after that, then you're not an affiliate. You're not in this to do business to make money. Okay, Rosemarie Slayball. I use a web page where I can create cards. Awesome. Which one is it? Show me how it works. Does it print stuff, stamp, and mail the cards too? Awesome. Do you create your own? Awesome. Show me some of the things that you created. Awesome. Show me what it looks like. Awesome. What do they cost? I get into it. I want to hear what they use and all that kind of stuff. So who makes money off of this? Like the company that you're doing business with, who makes money off this? Oh, I don't know. Well, being I'm your friend and I'm in business, if I could match their price or beat their price and it was just as easy, would you support me since you know me? Now there's a friendship test. Woo! There's a friendship test. All right. And also I show them how a website is better. You know, same website, but better pricing, better quality, better things you can do, and the systems and what it can do in their business. Because remember, it's about the system. The system is where the value comes in, because the system is the one that maintains the relationships. That website is not going to maintain the relationship. Okay, Cheryl Trent. I don't know anyone. I have no one to talk to. I get it. I understand. People say that. And those are just introverted people. They're shy, self-esteem issues. It can be all kinds of things like that. And I say to them, I say, well, do you have a desire at all to make more relationships and have more friends in your life? Would you like to have more friends? Or if I could show you that you actually do, let me show you something. Let's jump on your Facebook. Let's jump on your Instagram. Let's look at how many contacts do you have in your phone? Do you like any of those people? Do you love and appreciate any of those people in your phone? Do you have any reason to tell any of those people how much you appreciate them? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's her perception that she doesn't know anyone. And those are usually emotional things. They come from depression and lack of self-esteem, stuff like that. Okay, BJ, got this yesterday. I'm not sure what our plans are going to be for the holidays, the holiday for greeting cards this year. We have cards we send out that we handwrite for thank yous. We will definitely keep you in mind, though, for the holidays. I would personally immediately send them a card. I would say, okay, great, I'll check back with you in a week or so. And I send them a card with their picture in it, and a nice card, and put some brownies on it, and say, just wanted to send you a sample of what our product looks like, and send a couple, okay? And that's how you'll get it. They need to experience the product for them to understand it. And also with people like that, I'll say to them, can I ask you a couple questions? How many cards do you guys send out? And who does the handwriting of the cards? And is there any personalized pictures in your cards that end up in frames? Do you want that to happen with your cards? Do you want your cards to be gifts instead of cards? Okay. And be careful using the word just. Don't say instead of just a card. Say, do you want your cards to be gifts that end up in frames, or instead of cards that get read and thrown in the trash? Are your cards having pictures of them in it so that they can be friends, so that they can be gifts that people put in frames? Okay, Eva Smith. Yeah, most guys I know don't do that. And so, exactly. And say, you know what? You want to stand out in the crowd amongst everyone? Be a guy that sends cards. Oh my gosh, your customers are going to go, wow, so-and-so sends cards, honey. Honey, I got a card from so-and-so. And people will be like, wow, you sent me a card? That's so nice. Because let's face it, people expect a card from me because I'm a card sending and I'm a girl and I'm emotional and I do that kind of stuff. They do not expect a card from you. Let me show you the power of that. Let's send a card to somebody you love. Let's put it to the test. And then there you go, recommending who to send it to the wife, to the girlfriend. Say, you're going to love this. Just a couple weeks ago, it's crazy how it started. I said, let me prove this to you. Let me prove this to you, Mr. Tough Guy. Let's send a card to your girlfriend. And he was like all embarrassed and everything. And we sent a card to his girlfriend. And then the next week, the girlfriend's sister died. And he messaged me and he says, can we send a memory card to the sister? I said, we sure can. All right, BJ, again, I use a similar software, but thank you for showing me. I appreciate it. Say, great, which software is it that you use? I'd love to compare and maybe get some numbers for you or something like that. Ask questions. Which software do you use? And how does your software work? Does your software stuff, print, stamp, and mail as well? Ask questions. I can't spend that much money right now. This is coming from someone who's been given a false perception because it's $2. Who can't spend $2? You know, the value of $2. Plus, when somebody is hard up for money, I will say, could you use some extra money on the side of what you're doing? Making the comment that it seems like that's a lot of money right now. Are you looking for something that could add some extra income into your life? If so, let me show you something on the other side of this business that is pretty powerful. And then move into the other side of, if I could show you a way that this could make you a couple extra $100 a month on the side with a few minutes of work a day, would you be interested in it? If all you had to do is love on people and there's no negative to it, does that sound good? And I'll take that route. All right, you guys, there you go. That's all the good ones that came off of all the lists. If you have any more, feel free to drop them in or shoot me a text and I will answer them for you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.